And I took them things and tucked them in them sweatpants and walked right in the pizza place. And the guy was just looking at me like this. I put a vest on. I put a okay. I didn't have on the bra, and I ordered the food, and I called. I said, "Is my food coming?" They said, "No, ma'am, it's a pickup." I said, "What?" So I had to tuck them, and then I stood like this, and I zipped up my skin.
Yeah, that's how. If I don't got no bra on,
yeah. Why do we stand like
arms close
like
together?
Like we got a gun, like we got a pistol. We stand.
Heavy on the field with Aaron.
We're working on this healing. You know we're glowing and it's giving. Tell me, can you feel me? It be heavy on the feelings.
I woke up.
Hey y'all, come on in. Welcome back to Heavy on the Feelings. I'm your host, Aaron A. And I'm like that homegirl you see every 2 weeks that you catch up on the phone with. And today is our day to chat, all right? So I hope wherever you are settling in, softening up, because we got some shit to say, all right? My guest for this episode is known to make you laugh on the radio, on the stage, on Instagram. She is a woman who holds no punches, and whether you are in her city or she is in yours, you are going to feel her. If you're a millennial from Detroit, she probably soundtracked your school commute or your work commute for over a decade. You may know her best from FM 98 WJLB, where she talked to you almost every weekday for 17 years as a part of the legendary talk show CoCo, Foolish, and Mr. Chase in the Morning. Or you may know her from her infamous Def Comedy Jam stand-ups. She is Detroit's first lady of comedy. She is an icon. And after 30 years in the game, she is still a motherfucking legend, okay? Please welcome to the show, CoCo, the comic.
Oh, my goodness. I'm about to cry.
Period.
Oh, that is so sweet.
You know, and I had to put on for the little titty girls because I know in your joke you said big little titty girls don't try this at home. So I couldn't bring the ice. I couldn't bring the big cup, but I could do the little personals. Ooh. Okay, so thank you so much for joining me.
Listen. So let me tell y'all something. I always say this. Okay, I always say this. So here we go. I tell older people, because this baby just told me how old she was, and I'm twice her age and a piece of penny candy. So I always tell older people, you got to hang around with young people. You got to see what they're doing, how they think. And we so quick to say, I don't want to hang out with them young folks. All they listen to it. Listen, I came in and they had the jazz playing. Not the new jazz. I'm talking about Harlem Nights, cigarette filter, long opera gloves, that kind of jazz. 60, 70 years, Coltrane, you feel me? Yusuf Lateef, that kind of jazz. And it's amazing. Ain't no drama. Ain't nobody, my coochie pink, my booty hole brown. Ain't none of that. And I didn't expect it because of the way Aaron approached me. I didn't expect it. But old folks, listen, don't be stuck in your ways. Get you some young folks to hang out with. They feed you and they cook. Baby girl had homemade, listen, both cameras, homemade banana nut muffins with no nuts because she didn't know if I had allergies. But she did because she had researched my allergies. She just told me what I was allergic to and everything. Get you some young friends.
Mm-hmm. And the tea.
And wait, baby, listen. Mother had homemade tea. You ain't a mother. We call you niece. Niece got homemade tea. Do you understand what's going on right here? Get you some young friends.
Period. Cheers.
And guess what? Toilet tissue in the bathroom. All that stuff.
Some wipes in there.
Listen,
everything.
and wipes in the back. Y'all hookers and hookettes ain't even got no wipes in your purse. With your funky ass. Okay, let's go.
You take this.
Cheers.
Yes, thank you so much for being here.
Ooh. Glory to the Lamb.
How you feeling today, CoCo?
Well, I just had a shot of tequila. What I didn't tell her is tequila made me climb on furniture now.
Oh, let me go ahead and pour the second one.
I It be Easter. I be wrapped up on the couch with a quilt like this. And they got a cute little dog. I be laying on the dog, telling the dog my problem. Now listen, what's the dog name? Fatty.
Shug. Not Fatty. Oh my God.
Fluffy. I know it's a fat name I can relate to.
Big Mama Shug.
Big Mama. See, now you know me and that dog is one and the same. She jumped right on me when I came in. Ooh, baby, let me tell you something.
I'm warming up.
I ain't had a shot of tequila in years. And it's warm. It's fuzzy. I know I'm going to go home now and get back in my bed. Praise him.
One thing that I love about you is how like relatable and accessible you are. Like you are absolutely a legend and you take up space, but you will talk to anybody. Like the first time that we met, I was actually working for D-Lo's show and you were headlining. And I felt like this is a legend, and I'm not from Detroit, so like that was my first time experiencing just your energy. And you have, oftentimes when we think about legends, there's like this myth about who they are, and their energy gets there before you do. But you're so welcoming. You are a legend who is going to bring people in and bring people along with you. And you stopped me to tell me, I think that you liked my hair or something. I had like a red lipstick on that day.
Yes, with the red lipstick popping. Yes.
And it ended up rolling into a conversation about...
Because we started talking about tall pants, because my god sis was with me, and we started talking about the woes when you thick of trying to get tall pants. Because you had on some leather pants with like a cutout on. And they were so cute. And me and my god sis was like, where can you get these? Pants. Because we tall. I'm 6'2". So, you know, when you 6'2", you get pants either to crouch down here, or they do us real bad. Big girl fashions, y'all doing us bold. Thank you.
And I love that, like, even in that moment, we started talking about the pants, and that kind of rolled into just, like, showing up and being yourself and being authentic and people feeling that. And you gave me your number that day.
I did.
And you said to call you if I needed something or anything like that. And I had forgot. I saved your number. And when I followed up with you about the show, and you was like, hey, baby, call me now. I typed in your number, and it said your name popped up.
The government name.
Right. I said.
And that throw people off.
I said, oh, I forgot. She's like this legend. I done had her phone number for a year in my phone just sitting on it. Like, wow. Do you do that for everybody?
No. So let me say this. I am a very, very, very spiritual person. I ain't the spooky, God-loving person, but I believe in Jesus Christ. And a lot of stuff that I do, 95%, and when I don't do the 5%, it'd be a mess, is by my spirit and how God directs me and leads me. And you were very warm and engaging and easy to talk to. And it was like, okay, God was like, I know you're asking about the pants, but just have a conversation with it, because it was just something about you that was glowing and warm and fuzzy and bubbling. And I do that. Now, sometimes when I don't, let me tell y'all, when you're not obedient, I meet some crazy people. Oh, no. Listen, we'll talk about that later in the interview, because I have been stalked. No, not play stalked. I'm talking about stalked.
For real, by multiple people.
Yes, CDs on the windshield, flowers on the windshield. Will you marry me? When I come home from walking this time down, I want to marry you. I'm like, no, we can't.
Walking this time down.
Yeah, they was behind the wall. Now, let me say this. Listen. But that's twofold, Aaron, so it's twofold. Because you get the people that they got issues.
Right. But then you get the real crazy people who following you.
Them, and you get those, and then it's the other guys and the other women who are serving time, and we become connected. Like, I've had people, like, send me letters and say, listen, I want to come see you when I come home. This is my name, blah, blah, blah. I said, well, okay, well, show up. And literally the receptionist will call me like, hey, it's a guy in here named da-da-da. And he said he sent you a letter and you said it was okay. It was, tell him I'm coming out. And from that point to this one, we are still friends. Like, I've been to their weddings and I've met their children and I've been to the cookouts. So I don't close myself, although my folks that are around me will tell me, they be looking at me like, okay, now you know that person got some stuff going on.
Right.
Like, okay, but I still got to be nice. But I have met some amazing, amazing people. But now, as my life is shifting, I'm going to have to get a number. And I'm going to tell the people, like, listen, if you done had this number over the last 25 years, keep it. but I'm getting a new number because let me tell you something what happened to me.
Tell me.
Ooh, so I had a lady who called, let me back up. My daughter and this man's daughter played basketball together in middle school. Harmless. I didn't know if he was a rooster or a hen. Y'all old folks know I didn't know if he was a boy or girl. It didn't matter.
I didn't know what that meant, but I'm glad you explained it. Thank you.
Hens are women. Hens are women and roosters are men.
I don't think I caught that.
Yeah, that's old. Y'all old folks, there's rooster. My grandma used to say that to me. Girl, I don't know if he a rooster or a hen. I don't know nothing about that man business. That means you ain't slept with him.
Okay, I like that.
So
I'm going to start saying that.
I ran into him at the gas station. We exchanged numbers, harmless, whatever. And he said, well, I'm finna go to my boy law because I live in law. He said, I'm finna go to my boy law and we going to the park and barbecue. I said, bet, that's nice. I said, call me if it's not too late. Me and my grandson was headed home, all of that. Harmless conversation. 2 days later, I'm at the station and my phone just kept ringing, block. I said, who is this? So I answered the phone and she was like, yeah, bitch, let me tell you something because I know you sleeping with my man. I'm like, who are you, ma'am? I don't know who you are. Who are you? Yeah, well, I go with, and it's funny, I didn't know he had a gambling addiction, but his name is related to gambling. I know, black chip, blue chip, I don't know. So casual conversation, the woman called me, you sleeping with my man? I don't know who your man is. So when she finally told me who he was, I said, I ran into him at the gas station, and my daughter and his daughter used to play ball together. She said, I took all his money, and he told me gave me his money because he ran into me, and I was asking people for money at the gas station. It get good. I was asking people for money at the gas station. He gave me all the money that he had in his pocket, which was like $500 or whatever, and that money was supposed to be to pay her water bill. I said, first of all, he's lying. I ran to him at the gas station, and we talked about our kids playing ball together, and he said he was from the barbecue, and that was the end of the conversation. She said, no, bitch, you want him. I said, ma'am, if you don't get off my phone. And this was the thing. I dealt with all the levels of crazy. But she said something that got my attention. She said, bitch, I'm going to be waiting for you outside the Penobscot building. Okay, well, you just shift gears. Because you threatening me now. I said, what you say? And I had my phone on speaker. Because I didn't recognize the number. I'm like, okay, y'all going to listen to this conversation. I didn't know what it was. You heard what I said? I'll be waiting on you outside. And you could take me and tell whoever you want. I said, okay. So obviously she had been crazy before.
Right, for sure.
And this was a
track record.
Yeah. So I got off the phone, called my folks, like, hey, this woman threatened me. This her man name or whatever. And for a minute, I walked out the Penobscot building like,
where you at?
Like, come on outside. And security was like, you good? But it just goes to show you how people attach themselves to something that's not real. So I've had that. I had a guy send me a wedding dress.
It wasn't in your size?
Hell no. Listen, let me tell you how big this wedding dress was. So y'all see the voluptuousness, right? He sent me a wedding dress for somebody that might have been, I don't know, Jada Pinkett Smith size. And it was in a box, beautiful box, beautiful bow on it. He sent me a wedding dress. I'm tell you what was in the box. It was a wedding dress and some pumps. Now, the pumps looked like they was about this big. And the receptionist said, you got a gift. And I said, who is this from? She said, they delivered it, beautifully wrapped. And I opened it, was a long letter. Yeah, I'm going to be at the listening party that you having with so-and-so because me and you ready to talk. Me and you need to talk. And if you can, be wearing this dress.
At the listening party, you want me to wear this wedding dress
to the listening party?
To the listening. First off, it's not my size. Maybe my arm size.
Let's start with the shoes.
Sleeves?
Listen. It had the little House of Prayer sleeves like this. It had the little House of Prayer sleeves. It was real fluffy. I'm like, no, we not.
No.
And the shoes, it was no way. The shoes was about this big. But they were dyed perfectly to match the same color in the wet.
What size were the shoes?
About a 6.
So he ain't never seen you before.
He had, but in his mind, I guess that's who he wanted me to be. All I did
Oh
was.
my goodness.
Is that somebody snoring?
That's my baby snoring. That's shook.
She got sleep apnea. I wish. Listen. Okay, listen, y'all. Listen. That dog is snoring like your uncle when he come home and had too much. The dog is like this. Remember your washing machine when the load was off and your mama tell you to go put some more clothes in there, but he be going, whoop, 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 whoop. You had that dog checked out for that? That dog needed some kind of monitor or something.
Oh my God.
Do she sleep like that all the time?
All the time. I can hear her upstairs. That's how I know. I'm like,
Ain't nobody gonna break in?
I'm like, is she good downstairs? And I just
Yes.
listen for the snore.
Anybody come to the door, they be like, oh no, they got weapons in there.
They don't
Sound
think
like
it's a whole bunch of
song.
niggas in here.
Yes. I'm gonna have to come back and visit Suge.
You will, yeah, especially in the summertime when we barbecuing outside in the back.
Oh,
it's
I'm
nice.
for that.
Yeah,
I'm for
and
all
the
of that.
cucumber lemonade, all that.
What?
So
Okay, I got warm. The tequila got warm. Okay, but I ain't gonna wipe
you
it
know
off.
it's a little warm.
Okay,
Hold on,
so
let
it
me
ain't.
take the other one. Hold on.
Oh, see, listen. See, she gonna be asleep by 2:00.
So I want to start our conversation off today.
Okay, we gonna stay and listen. We gonna stay in the path. I ain't gonna deviate.
It's okay if we deviate a little
Okay,
bit.
that's
I
good.
like it. That's part of who you are. That makes you who you are. I want to start at the entry point of comedy because you've clearly had an entire career, longer than I've been alive.
It'll be 33 years in April.
Yes. So
Yes.
you have in a couple days.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, that's incredible. Oh, let's clap it up for that.
Ooh. But it's so emotional. But go ahead.
So, as you were starting your career into comedy, you were transitioning from a nurse,
Yes.
but it happened specifically after your sister passed.
Yes.
So you're grieving, you're processing, and what makes you decide to say, okay, I'm gonna get on the stage and tell a
Oh
joke?
my gosh. So back then, because that was 1991. If you got therapy or any kind of mental healing outside of somebody praying for you or whatever, then it was really rare, and it might have been an extreme case, right? So I had been a nurse. I became a nurse in 87.
What kind of nursing were you doing? Because
We had
I was
all.
in nursing school for a little minute too, and then I
what
said
happened?
I don't want to do this no more.
You didn't like it?
I had been a CNA through high school, like it was
I had
like
been a CNA for a long time, too.
tech
Yeah.
program in my high school or whatever. So I did that. That was kind of my hustle through undergrad, just being a
Right.
CNA, working
Right.
with the old folks,
Yep,
going
yep.
private duty in their homes.
Oh yeah, that's yeah.
Clutch, okay?
Right.
And then after I graduated college, I went to nursing school, and I was like, I don't think this is anything that I want to do anymore. It wasn't the actual science of it. I just felt like my heart wasn't there anymore.
Yeah.
And
It
it's
requires a lot. It's if you really gonna be serious about what you doing, it requires a lot of empathy and a lot of it just requires a lot. So I really had always had this tremendous amount of empathy, and then I said, okay, you've been a CNA, go to nursing school, and you could do this or whatever. Plus, I didn't want to receive public assistance. Not that I haven't, but I didn't want to do it anymore. I didn't like the way the woman talked to me. She talked to
can
me.
we talk about that real quick?
Yes,
because
come on, yes.
I recently was like, let me just see if I can apply for food stamps and see what happened. And the level of like interrogation
And disrespect.
it feels derogatory. It
It
feels
is.
disrespectful.
Yeah,
it feels
it is.
like, oh my God, like first off, I gotta give you everything I ever fucking had
Yeah,
on paper.
yeah.
And then
And
you
3 drops
rude
of
as
blood.
hell.
And
And you
three- yes.
you rude as hell just for you to give me $30 maybe a month for food stamps.
Yeah,
Like, no
yeah.
thank you.
I think sometimes when people sit behind a desk, and it no matter what it is, the person on the other side of the desk sometimes feels like you need them. You need their services, no matter how trite it may seem. But people sometimes feel like I'm better than you,
Yeah.
because you're coming
Emboldened.
for assistance and you doing this and you doing that, and they forget how to talk to people. They judgmental and all of those things. And when you seek help, the last thing I need is your personal judgment. I don't need all that. What? Wait a minute. Hold on.
It's already
Yes.
enough. And then in Detroit, trying
Yeah.
to navigate the
Yeah.
local government and get what you need.
Yeah. In most major cities, though, they especially when you got a little brown on. got a little color on you. They talk to you different. So my social worker would talk to me. Now, one of them was beautiful. She was amazing. She was a sweetheart. She was very kind. And they moved her somewhere else. So when I went in there with Miss Seahag, Alice the Goon, one of them, and she was like, well, I said, well, I plan on going to nursing school. Mm-hmm. You know how many women come in here say they're going to nursing school or going to school, period? I said, no, I'm serious about this. I need daycare. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. And she was like, no, you probably come back. How old is your baby? And my daughter might have been less than a year old. Yeah, you probably come back here in a few months pregnant. I ain't having no children. Look, you say that now, but she was so rude. And I made a point. I said, I'm finished nursing school. If I had to pay somebody to assume my identity or something, I'm finishing. So became a nurse, was working, doing my thing, and my sister had a stroke and passed. And I'm like, whoa. She had 3 children. And I'm like, okay. She got 3 kids. We got to take care of her kids. Me and my mother, we got to do this. I said, okay, so I got to shift gears, but it was a lot. It was, my daughter at this point was 6. I said, my daughter's 6. I got nieces and nephew. We got to take care of this. So when I started thinking about it, I said, I feel like I'm finna lose it. Like, I feel like I just want to take all my clothes off and go sit on one of the benches in the Renaissance Center and just look at people and have a conversation with them. It was that bad. Yeah. So my girlfriend reached out to me. She said, me and my uncle managing a bar downtown. We got this bar, and they do comedy. I said, for real? I always wanted to do, I always knew my life would not be traditional. Loved entertainment. Before I seriously thought about comedy, I wanted to be a singer. So when I told my mother that I was quitting my job and becoming a comedian, she was like, what? You gonna go on stage and talk about people? I said, yeah, black people don't do that. They don't. We'll come back to that. She said, well, you don't want to sing? I said, Ma, I do. I like singing. I like the band, the music. But I wanted, in my mind, I was crazy. I want to be on stage by myself. Because with a band, you know, you go on stage and your voice ain't right. Y'all give it up for Erin, our drummer. She do her thing. Yeah. Give it up for Tanisha, the bass player. When you doing comedy, it's just you, your mind, and the microphone. And I wanted that. Yeah. Why did I want that? I just wanted to do comedy. Yeah. And I went down there. Tommy Chung was hosting, and he was like, so what's your name? And I was like, CoCo. He said, okay. He said, what's your real name? I was like, you don't need to know all that. And how I came up with CoCo, one of my
I love patients, that your patients gave you CoCo.
Yeah, one of my patients, and this, so he said he couldn't see. Mm-hmm. But
he could see enough.
He could see enough. And I used to always go in his room in the morning and be like, hey, we're going to call him Joe. Hey, Mr. Joe, how you doing today?
Okay, because HIPAA.
Yeah. I'm going to come back and give you your medicine, get your insulin, all that. He's like, okay. And he was like, you know what? You sure make me feel good in the morning. You like hot chocolate. All while he was squeezing me, right? Mm-hmm. I said, you squeezing me. Am I? You know I am. You know you are. He said, no, you know what? You ain't like hot chocolate. You thicker than that. You CoCo. So I took the name. I didn't think nothing of it. And years later, when I said I was going to do comedy, that was the name.
So you get on that stage the first time when they ask you what's your name. What happens? It was a rush. You felt like, I need to do this. I was made for this.
I wanted to run out the door. I wanted to throw up. I wanted to urinate. I wanted to have a real bowel movement. I wanted to cry. I wanted to scream. I wanted to do
it was a lot coming out of you.
Emotions at one time. But God kept me grounded. I was like, okay, you can't do none of that. You just got to get together. And I might have talked for like 3 or 4 minutes, and I just talked about things, just life things. Yeah. Ladies, this is this, and blah, 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 blah. Funny part is when I first started comedy, women didn't like me. Mm-hmm. It's like, it's something about her voice. She talked too aggressive. She did it. Okay. Same thing in radio. When I first started in radio, it was like, her voice, why does she sound like that? And then I'm like, well, I was a nurse, so I had to be direct and tell people what to do who probably was holding a knife up to my neck or had came in. And,
Also, I'm 6'2". I'm just built like
yeah,
this.
and but see, we ain't supposed to be. You know, you supposed
be feminine, be soft.
You're supposed to be like that. I ain't never been that. So, it stuck. It was a drug. I started putting my plan together like, okay, I can't do this in nursing, but I'm going to do this until it kick in. And I had the conversation with God on the way home. Like, God, I like that. I said, I know it sounds crazy, but I like the way I felt. And it was literally like he was saying, so you like the way you felt like you want to run and scream. I said, I liked it.
That rush.
It was a rush. And every time I go on stage, I look for that rush. And it's like getting high with no repercussions. I'm like, okay, how many people out there? Okay, so loud. How many people? Okay, that's 5,000 at the Fox. The more people, the bigger the rush. And my feet, my feet tingling. So my feet are literally like tingling on the ground. And the more people, I be like, how many? 20,000 people. Is it sold out? Yeah, we sold out. 20,000, okay. All right, I got this. And it's the craziest thing, but I will walk out and my feet start tingling and I would just take all that energy. Like the audience is throwing, it's like 20,000 people just throwing stuff at you, just coming from all different directions, all kind of energy, all of that. And then you suck it up and I give it back to them.
Yeah.
But it's happening in seconds. I'm like, okay, all right, And I was like, oh. And I come off stage exhausted.
I was going to say, how do you feel afterwards?
Exhausted. But I can't, your body has to come down.
Yes.
It's like.
Decompression.
Yes. And sometimes it may take an hour. Sometimes it may take 3.
Sometimes it might take a day.
It might take a day. Or depending if I'm out of town, I'm like, what time? The driver picking us up to go to the airport? Oh, we got to be in the lobby at 6. I'm like, shoot, it's 1 o'clock. I might as well just, let me put my clothes in a suitcase and lay across the bed. I'm just going to go and take a shower and be sitting in the lobby at 5 o'clock like this because it's just, but I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. The part about being an entertainer, and we could get back to that, is you connect and you reconnect. Because people don't understand it. My mother did not understand. She was like, what? I said, I am. My friends didn't understand. They was like, so you going? I was like, well, why don't you? Because before I got into nursing, I was in college, so my major was special ed, child psychology, and performing arts. She was like, so why don't you do that? I'm like, I don't want to do that.
I don't want to do it.
But in older, my mother was born in 1930. So in older people of color,
Yep.
you don't want to be a teacher, a lawyer.
They want something with some security. They want their babies
In
to be
they
good.
mind. Yeah, but I don't want to be miserable for 30 years. I don't. And Mama, I love everything you've done for me. I love the way you took care of me. I love everything that you do. But I just want to do this. And I think, and I know, ain't no thought, I know my sister would have been pleased. I know she would have been like, come on, sis. Yeah, we could do this. We going.
Because she was in your corner for sure.
Always. And she was 10 years older than me. And I got a bunch of siblings. That's a whole nother movie. Be like, I know we going to do this. We going to do this. So you going to work, and then you going to come home and get your daughter ready for bed and help with homework. Then you going to go do comedy, and then hang out and smoke a whole bunch of cigarettes. Because I was smoking them cigarettes. Oh, baby. But a couple, listen, have my mouth like this with that cigarette and a Pepsi. What? I had to have some caffeine.
You have to. Do you think that now in hindsight your mom understands?
I think my mother, knowing my mother had in her mind, because we get to a place sometimes we want to, in a strange kind of way, control the people, and we don't want you to make no mistakes.
Yeah.
So if I love you, I don't want you to make any mistakes, and sometimes that goes, it can be really extreme. You're like, So I think the things that she felt about me being a comedian, before she passed, she was like, okay, I said that she wasn't going to do this, and this wasn't going to happen, and that wasn't going to happen. But all the things that she said went in another direction. So I was able to care for her and do a lot of things for her before she passed. It got tight for a minute, but I was still able to do those things.
holding it down.
I was like, wow. So this is a shameless plug. You older people, I need you to get your affairs in order. Get your insurance policies in order. I know you keep saying, I ain't going to leave nothing for them kids. Well, listen, leave enough money for your children to bear you properly. And that's just how it is. And you have to understand, as you get a little older, have the conversation like, okay, well, if this happens and that happens, will I still have coverage? Have a conversation, because it don't make sense that we live fabulous and then when we die, we got to do so many things to get money. Okay, back to the interview.
No, that is important.
Yeah.
We just was having a conversation the other day, like, I need life insurance.
Yeah, you do. And I give you somebody a number that get you all
Together,
the way
period.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
As you were navigating your comedy career, are there moments where you're realizing, where you're almost second guessing yourself?
Oh my goodness, every day.
Still.
No, not now. But even then, I was like, you know what? I'm going to quit this comedy thing because I did 4 shows this week and I only got $83. I don't like the way this math is mathing. And then I was still working. So I was still working days, and then I was picking up some midnight shifts or whatever. And I'm like, okay, God, you have to lead me to a place where it's going to be okay. So my aunt had a duplex, and my cousin had passed. Mm-hmm. So she said, well, you can move in there. I said, well, wait. Old school, one of the old school duplexes. With the tub, with the feet.
So it was very nice.
Very nice. 3 bedrooms, living room, dining room, kitchen. Really, really nice. And the neighborhood was a neighborhood that I was familiar with because I had lived there at one point. I said, well, how much my rent going to be? She said, $300. Shit, I ain't trying to make no money off of you. She said, all you got to do is pay your gas bill. I said, for real? She said, yeah, shut up and put your shit in there, because that's how she used to talk to me. So and she said, plus I want somebody in there, and da-da-da, and it'll be good for me. I said, okay. So moved in, and this was probably about 93, 94 maybe, 93, 94. Mm-hmm. So I moved in, knew all the cats in the neighborhood that was on a mess. Hey, what up? And they called my government name. Hey, what up? You looking cute. Keep going. No. We tried that before. You looking good. I'm still that fat girl with the gum. With the braces. Keep going. Push. Hit the block. Go on about your business. So it's, as you move in the right direction in your life, things will line up for you. You just have to move in the direction and say, you know what? I'm going to do what I need to do. And it'll come, now you got to understand, it may not come from people who you think it should come from. Mm-hmm. We miss out on a lot because we want somebody that we got out of jail 10 years ago and we paid $5,000. Well, now that you need $5,000, you think it's going to come from them. It may not.
Yeah. And
you just got to be open to receiving and say, you know what? Okay. I don't care where it come from. I need these 5 bands. And I know they ain't going to pay me back because they doing the same stuff they been doing.
So as you're on your journey to, say, even starting the radio gig, what things for you are kind of lining up that's like, okay, I can keep going? Like the house, for sure, I have a place to stay, which means my bills are reduced. I have a little more comfort, a little more ease.
Yes, I got a little more comfort. I could do a little more for my daughter. I had a car. Listen, y'all, this car. My car was a community car. So whatever comedian came to town, if I was working with them, they needed transportation, I'd be like, drop me off. I had 2 cars like that. Drop me off at work or drop me off wherever you could use the car. That was my first car. Second car, once I moved, was the same thing. I'm like, and then I had an extra bedroom, so I would ask my mother, could my daughter stay over there, and then my friends would stay at my house. Y'all good? We cool.
Period.
But I had one of them cars, and it had a power window, but every time you hit the bump, the window would jump off the track. That boy would jump, too. So then my starter started acting up. The starter, the alternator, and it was a guy. God bless the community mechanics. Because he was like, oh, he said, see, if you did it like this, that'll cost you $500 or $600. But what I could do, He reran a wire from the starter up through the back to the ignition.
Genius.
Could have made millions of dollars. Put the wire there. So what I would do is I would turn my key and then hit the button like a doorbell. You know, the old doorbells look like a little nipple, and you push it and bling, it ring real loud. So I would turn the key and hit it. Whoop, it started right up. So I'm ready. I'm good. Then it finally just was like, it died. My god brother, police officer, he was like, what you need to do? I said, I need to go here. And okay, we'll take you. So if he didn't take me, he would have his cousin or somebody take me. I had provisions, and I didn't know it because in my mind, I want to drive. I could do it.
But you had what you needed.
That's the issue. You get what you need sometimes. It ain't about what you want. Sometimes you just need to be comfortable because it helps you think. So I made it. Made it through that, starting radio. I didn't even want to do radio. Did not.
Real quick, this woman said she didn't want to do radio and negotiated one of the best contracts.
I did.
She said, maybe I don't want to do it, but I'm going to get paid.
Yeah, but oh my God. So I'm gonna try to be quick. I'm trying to tell y'all this story in like 2 minutes. So Mason kept asking me. Mason would show up at the shows because he loved comedy. You want to do radio? I'm like, I don't want to do radio. I said, what's that? But I would go on the show. I would go on the morning show on Mix 92.3 and with guest hosts, and I would go on JLB. Mason like, you don't want to do radio? What time I got to get up? Oh, you got to be here at 5:30. What? I be coming in at that time sometimes. You mean I'm dressed and going out? Listen, ain't nothing happened. The dog fell. No, it ain't. Peter, people, please. I'll be like, she let the dog fall. Didn't.
All is well.
The dog is fine. Ain't nobody fall. Relax, people.
Period.
Yeah, I'm being serious. So
on that note, we'll be right back after this commercial break. This show is brought to you by Hey Me First. So as you're on this journey and you're about to start radio, you are clearly anti waking up early.
I just didn't feel that in my spirit.
Yeah.
I was like, so I gotta be somewhere at 5:30.
It's still dark outside any season.
Yeah, I can't get up. I gotta be there, dressed, ready, and interacting with 4 or 5 people. But it happened. It was like my buddy called me whispering one day. He said, "Hey, I'm at the station and they finna call you and ask you about a job." I said, "Okay."
When it's whispering, it's serious.
He was there. Yeah. So they called me. It was September '96. They reached out to me. They said, "Hey, would you be interested in doing morning radio, blah, blah, blah." And I was like, yeah. I didn't know what went with that.
Yeah.
I knew the time, but I didn't know. I didn't come from media.
Yeah.
So when you think of radio and TV, everybody used to say, so what school did you go to for broadcasting? Did you go to Michigan State? No.
And this is early 90s.
Yeah.
So
yes.
even what you have access to and all people just kind of coming up and doing anything, that's really a 2010,
yes.
later than 2010 kind of thing.
Yeah.
People were looking for technical background.
All of that.
Yeah.
And I had none. And it happened at the time that they were changing the image of radio. They wanted to take some of that, they wanted to take that sterile part off and add a little humor. So urban stations, well, I ain't gonna say urban stations across the country started adding a comedian or somebody that was well-versed in a lot of areas. So I was blessed and fortunate, and I went down there and we talked, and I was like, okay, yeah, all right. And then I left and I called my friend Raymond Lambert. So Raymond Lambert owned the comedy club. One was in Chicago, one was in Detroit. He was one of the owners of All Jokes Aside. So it was one in downtown Chicago on Wabash and one in Detroit on Woodward across from the State Theater. Mm-hmm. So I called Raymond. I said, Raymond, listen. He said, I already know. I said, well, how you know? Who told you? Same person that called me told him. Mm-hmm. And I said, but I don't know what money to ask for. I said, I've never negotiated. How much? He said, okay, calm down. And Raymond is such a jewel. He was like, I need you to calm down. I said, okay. I'm going to tell you what Raymond told me about comedy. We'll come back to that. So I said, well, what do I do? He said, call this number and ask for my friend Chris. So I said, okay, I called. Chris answered the phone. I said, hey, Chris. He said, I know. Raymond called me. I said, okay, Mr. Chris, I don't know anything about radio, and he said, I know what you need. He said, just call me. We'll talk about some different things. I said, okay. So I communicated with this man I didn't get my first paycheck until December.
Mm-hmm. But you got the call in September.
I got the call in September, but when they finally agreed to the numbers, it was in December.
Were you already working at that time on the radio?
I was going through radio every day. So I was still doing radio. If allowed, I was still doing comedy, and then I would still go and still nurse. So I started radio in 96, but I didn't let my license expire until 2000. So I kept them. So communicated with Mr. Chris, and Raymond was like, okay, Chris told me he getting you together, blah, 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 da-da-da. Get my contract. And I kept looking at it. I said, wait a minute. So you telling me if I talk for 4 hours a day, 5 days a week, show up and do appearances and events, I get this money and vacation time and all of that. But see, I needed to do my research because once I went back and did it, the money that I was making was nothing compared to what people that had syndicated shows and all that stuff was making. I mean, there are people that, radio personalities that make millions and millions of dollars a year. But for me and the role I was playing and the people that were my peers, it was a lot of money.
Yeah.
And so word got out, like conversation, oh, CoCo doing radio, da-da-da, she in Detroit, doo-doo-doo. Because it was a job that everybody wanted. I was on radio here. Damon Williams and George Wilmore were on radio in Chicago. Ricky Smiley was on radio, I think, in Atlanta, Alabama. My boy Rudy Russo, the comedians that took over, the ones who could do it. And I say that because you got to be real versatile. Everything can't be funny. Yeah. Everything can't be a yuck, yuck, a yuck, yuck. Everything can't be funny, and then everything can't be serious, so you got to have a balance. So years later, Raymond wrote a book and did a documentary about comedy. So we at the African American Museum, and I'm sitting and I'm watching the documentary, and Chris, who Will Smith played him in the movie, The Pursuit of Happiness. He popped
That's
in.
the person who was who was helping you negotiate?
Yes. I had no clue. I had no clue.
The power of, like you said, sometimes it's not the people you would expect to help you, but it's when I was first starting undergrad, somebody told me, my mentor at the time, which was a few years ahead of me, she told me, she was like, know somebody who knows somebody so you don't owe somebody. Mm-hmm. And that mentality around who you know can put you in a completely different position. And when you're good to people, people are going to connect you with the people that they love so that you can get what you need, even if they can't.
And that's that part. So he said, I knew. I said, why you didn't tell me? He said, did it matter? I said, no. I said, but Raymond, he said, that was my friend. He said, and you my friend. Yeah. And you called me and it was something that you needed, and I know he would take care of you, and he did. So this is the crazy part. After all the I's dotted, T's crossed, contract signed, and everything, I kept calling him back. I said, Mr. Chris, listen. Still didn't know who he was. I said, Mr. Chris, how much do I owe you? He said, you don't owe me nothing. I said, I know. Because, my family done dealt with lawyers and negotiators. That's a whole other story. I said, Mr. Chris, how much I owe you? He said, you don't owe me nothing. I said, I owe you. He said, listen, just when you get an opportunity to do something for somebody, do it. Yeah. I said, that's it. He said, you don't owe me nothing. And he was serious. I said, okay. So I think I sent the man candy and flowers and all that stuff and everything. And Raymond was like, Chris said, you don't owe him nothing. I said, I know, but I done sent him flowers and plants and all that stuff. Paying it forward. And that's always in the back of my head. Yeah. I said, this man, I'm sure Raymond told him, hey, this is one of my comedians and she a friend of mine and blah, blah, blah. But people don't have to be nice to you. Yeah. And I'm like, I know I owe this man. Because he was negotiating multi-million-dollar deals. Google Chris Gardner, y'all. Y'all like, who is that? Google Chris Gardner. Will Smith played him in the movie The Pursuit of Happiness. But Google him. So I'm like, I don't owe you nothing. He said, no, you don't owe me nothing. He was like, my uncle. No, he was like, no, you don't owe me nothing. I said, I owe you nothing. He said, you don't owe me nothing. So when I think about people being nice, it ain't for you. I'm not being nice to you because I want something. I'm being nice to you because you have a want. And I can meet that want. You need a new car? Let me hook you up with my boy, and this is what he do. And you ain't even got to go to the car dealership.
Yeah.
He'll do everything over the phone, email, and they'll knock on your door and be handing you everything. Because we need people like that.
Good friends and good resources are like having wealth. It's like having money.
It is wealth.
I can give
time is money.
Yes, I can give you and share this wealth with you, right? As long as you know what to do with it and you utilize it in the best way, I know that this is going to make a return for you in a way you're not even understanding. Like, I think friends are definitely a type of wealth.
People don't get that. Having a safe space, that if you need a safe space is important.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? I really don't feel right. I'm going to call Aaron. And you may not know what to do, but you just going to come and sit with me.
I'm looking forward to a call now.
Yeah, like, Auntie, you, and just sit. Sometimes you don't know what to say. You just need to sit and be present in that space and sit with that person. Be like, you want some chicken wings?
You want some muffins?
Yeah. I ain't listen. I'm finna, I can whip up the muffins, but I can do that. But be available and accessible to people just to provide us. It's good for a person to know that they could be safe with you.
Yes.
Especially with all the craziness going on in the world.
Yeah.
Y'all see it.
Because you're about to start a very long tenure on the radio, and so I'm sure there are a lot of things shifting. There are probably people that you thought you liked or they liked you even as a friend, and it was like you got that spotlight.
Oh yeah.
And things started looking grim.
Everything looked different. The thing I was more concerned about than anything was my family and my daughter. It was like, okay, how is this going to affect her? Because I'm doing stand-up and I'm doing radio. So it's like, okay. So I would see people out and they would take pictures or whatever, or maybe station events or concerts and stuff. And my daughter would go and my friends would go. But for the most part, I've tried to keep my daughter and even my grandson now, and I got a great-grandson now, even my great-grandson, out of the picture because they didn't ask for this. Mm-hmm. So as normal as I could possibly keep their life, I want to do it. And my friends, some of my people, we still like this. We've been friends 30, 40, 50 years. And then there's some other folks, I can't get you no tickets. Sir, listen, I don't have a distributor in my coochie that I could just shoot tickets out to. I just can't shoot you no tickets out like that. I can't.
Do you think, was that a struggle for you at all at first? Like just trying to navigate, like I want to put my friends in these positions, or I want to give them tickets, or I want to, like, how were you navigating this? Because something that we're not explicitly saying, but should be very clear, is that this is a big-bodied black woman who is taking up space in the early 90s when femininity, being ultra femme, ultra skinny, ultra quiet,
all the
meek,
disses,
very cute, a very particular way, and and also a certain kind of hair, certain kind of wig, certain kind of look.
None of that.
None of it.
I was none of that.
So you're taking up space and you doing your damn thing, and then you're also navigating. Are people really fucking with me? Or are they liking the status?
Or that, and that part, is it like, and even with dating and relationships, I'm like, okay, is this person here for my government name? Are they here for this person? What are their intentions? What do they want? What are they trying to do? Is it somebody that's can benefit me?
Yeah.
Or you become, I don't want to say, you're not paranoid is an extreme word with a negative connotation, but you become very analytical.
That has been where I've been at.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to navigate that space because it's like, I'm not paranoid, but I'm observing because I'm not from here. So I don't have like these long standing relationships where I've been here for 25, 30 years.
How long you been here?
I've been in Detroit for 3 years.
Okay,
so enough time.
At 5 years, you can't say you ain't from here no more.
Okay.
I got a friend like that. She tell me I'm originally from.
I've been waiting to say I'm from here. So
5 years.
Mark it on the calendar.
One of my girlfriends tell me I ain't from here. I said, listen, you done met married and had a baby. Hooker, sweetheart, you from here.
Now I did meet and get engaged here, so I feel like I'm here. You know, I pay
you from
taxes here in the city. So.
And your partner is from here? Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, so you from here.
Yeah, she from the west side. So,
family, yeah. You a member,
so
real life.
Just navigating, like, as I'm showing up in the world and I am who I am and I take up space, I'm, like, watching how maybe some people didn't fuck with me and now they do, or people are kind of weird about when and how they fuck with me. And I'm like, it makes you think about every single person now that you see. It's like, what are your real intentions here?
And it makes you even ask, should I be where are you? Should I? Or I'm watching you, but you watching me. Because sometimes people watch you to say, oh, you acting funny. No, I'm not acting funny. You just said some things that I didn't like. Mm-hmm. And maybe you said it before, but now that you said it,
again,
a light went off. And the part to that is when they show you, you got to accept it. Mm-hmm. We be trying to hold on to stuff. And it's only two kind of people in your life. It's attachments and assignments. So you can attach anything to anything, but it can be removed. But if it's an assignment, they're not going nowhere. You might not talk to them. I got friends live out the country, live overseas, and we may talk, or they pop up on my timeline or whatever. We may talk. But when I see them, it's just like we hung up the phone. And we go back to the same laughs and giggles, and remember that time, and we did this, and it's always like a good reunion. Mm-hmm. And then there's people that said some things, and immediately when they said it, I'm like, if you feel like that, and I'm thinking you an ally, your intentions are, you not, and I've always made everything that I had, and I'm getting away from that. I always made everything that I had accessible to people. Yeah. And it worked out to be, I learned the lesson, but I was spiritually, emotionally, psychologically, and financially depleted. But the lesson that I learned is not like, because I'm not going to be around nobody and they say something slick about you. And I don't say nothing. Be like, no, because if I let that slide, then I might as well have said it myself.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's how I see it. If somebody say something slick and I let it slide, that make that person think, yeah, she ain't cool with her either. So I could, no. Yeah. No. So you find that stuff out, and you find out people that have used you, and you have to be around them sometimes. That's the other part. Like,
that's so hard.
Oh, my God.
It's so hard. The Sagittarius in me is like, if I don't fuck with you, don't look at me. Don't be in the same space. Don't be around me. But it's like sometimes
you have to be another person.
And these are not even people explicitly that I'm naming as like abusers, right? Because we have predators, people like that in our community. These are just people that I'm just like, I don't like your energy and I don't like what you're about. And you not really good for my brand.
You ain't good for me or anybody around you.
You know what I'm saying? We don't really align in that way. We don't have the same principles. So how did you get into a space where you kind of like tucked that paranoia up and just decided like I can move as myself and I know that it's enough and God will remove the people?
Oh, see, that's even now the way that I move. I'm really thankful. I really thank God for the people that are around me. Because like I said, you got to have that person that's in the cut, and they don't mind being a professional chiller because they not just watching you because you their friend. They watching the whole environment, and that's who they are. And you just have to say, you know what? That's just who you are. They there for you. You know they don't really do this, but they there for you. And they going to sit in the back and chill. And if something changes, be like, let's go. I'm like, you right. No, really, you got to have that person that be like, let's go. I'll be like, you right. Y'all can stay here. We out.
We backing it up.
You ain't, you know.
People who roll with me.
Yeah. And I have friends that be like, okay, we finna go. Everybody, y'all can stay. You can stay and party, but for me, the shift is changing. Or somebody has came into that space that really, really, I don't want to turn no tables over.
Yeah.
I know how to do it several ways. You could catch it like this and do it like
Toss
that.
It. I could flip it from the end. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Or now I got older, so I can get more to the base and yaka. Yes. I'm going to sleep. have to know that. You have to know. See, I knew I hang with you. But you have to have those people, and you have to be willing to listen to those people. In this season of my life, I'm 61 years old. I can't.
You ain't overlooking shit.
Nope. I'll be like, oh, okay, yeah. Ain't gonna tell somebody else. Be like, you need to watch her because she owns some boo boo.
Do you think that's because of how you was raised, or just like coming up in the game with you, and also being from Highland Park? You know where you was raised.
I think it was how I was raised, who raised me, the environments that I've been in, and it all for me is just a sense of discernment. It is really, my sense of discernment is really, really intense.
Yeah.
One of my girlfriends that passed a few years ago, we would be somewhere, and like I said, it's time to go. I'd be like, hey, we need to go. She'd be like, okay. We were out of town doing the show, comedy show was banging. We get to the after party, and when we pulled up on one whole side of the street, the police was lined up in this city with riot gear on. I'm talking about they had the full, like, whoop your ass outfit. I'm like, oh. So, we get inside, security come out, we get inside, and I'm up there, we partying. Tweety roll, all that. And in an instant, my spirit like was, let's go. So I tell my friend, I said, let's go. She was like, okay. Because she had known me for so long, she knew, she trusted that. And I told everybody, I said, hey, y'all, I'm finna go. They was like, you finna go? We good? I said, it ain't right. I said, this hole is something that's not right. So we get in the hotel. We walk into the desk, and I'm standing there talking to the young lady. I said, I just want to get some chicken wings. You know, y'all.
You love chicken wings. I should have had some chicken wings for you.
I do. Ooh, you don't want me to eat them in public. Because I had to take.
I don't even want to tell you how I be eating chicken wings. I'll tell you off camera.
I gotta take.
I'll tell you off camera.
If I'm out, I either lift some couple of them and put them in the box. If I'm at home, I'm naked with a towel right here. Bra off. And I got the towel pulled up like this. Baby, listen. They taste better.
When you naked.
When you get crumbs down here. And you get out the bed like, how's the chicken crumbs?
Nah, you was in the bed like this.
Oh, that's the best way. I didn't know there was another way to eat them.
I too love chicken wings.
Yeah, chicken wings. So I'm saying, can we get? She's like, yeah. I said, okay. We were there 5 minutes, and the door. We started seeing lights pulling in the driveway of the hotel, and I'm like, what's going on? Our whole crew, they coming in, clothes disheveled, they coughing, face messed
they
up.
They got pepper spray.
Yes. They said, CoCo, by the time you left, 10 minutes later, a fight broke out. And we were in the back of the club. The VIP area
so
was in
y'all
the back
would
of
have
the
been
club.
cooked.
So, yes. So, and then once you got to the back, you had to go up the steps. Mm-hmm. So they said when the fight broke out, they had to fight all the way down the steps, making a hole, couldn't get out the back door of the club. And one of my boys was like, yeah, we should have left with you. I said, yeah. And I can't make nobody understand it. But I think now it's in a different climate, and that was years ago. But yeah, I'm looking around like we need to get out of here.
Period.
And but you know, and this is why another reason you gotta hang out with young people, because they hear the same thing. Because there's a difference between, girl, you know you got me fucked up. That means I'm glad to see you. I ain't seen you in a long time. That's that one. But if you hear this, oh, you got me fucked up, that'd be like, okay, let's go.
When that voice get a little deep.
Yeah, get that little cigarette drop on it. It's time to go. You gotta go.
It's time
wrap
to
up
go.
Wrap up the wings. Put the heels on your fingers like this. You gotta have your high heel shoes on your fingers like this. Put your bag over your neck. You better put that bag over your neck.
And the surest way it's gonna stay on over your neck.
And you out the door. You look around, everybody in your crew, we walking. And we out. We get to the car, we run, feet hurting and everything. But
When you know, you know.
You gotta have
When
it.
you know, you know. One thing that I love about your stand-ups and about you is that you're not afraid to talk about your sexuality. You're not afraid to own your body.
No.
And I think that that is something that people are still in 2024 struggling to do. And you were doing it when people weren't doing it. We had Oprah losing weight every day on TV.
You said did you say? Okay, cut the cameras off. She said every day. When she came out with the wagon and the fat on it, and even recently,
my girl, she on the Ozempic.
Yeah,
she shooting it up.
She recently talked about that. I think with body dysmorphia, it is such a ongoing challenge on either side. So if you a smaller person and you always get talked about being a smaller person for whatever reason, that's an issue. And then me being a bigger person, people always want to inflect their prejudices on you. So they be like, you know what? I could tell you how to lose weight. How you know I ain't lost weight? How you know that the size that you currently see me, I wasn't 150 pounds smaller than this 5 years ago? And then people be like, oh, I wasn't trying to say no, but you don't know. So just be quiet until I engage you in some way, then you just need to be quiet. But the world has made it, social media, the world has made it okay to objectify a person and their relationships, to objectify you if your thighs rub. I heard a comedian saying, I wish I would have thought of the joke. She was talking about being a big girl, and she just want to know what it feel like to have wind blow between your legs. I wish I would have thought of that joke. Because when she said, I'm going to tell you her name. Her name is Jackie something. Beautiful chocolate sister. She said, I just want to know what it feels like. And I said, you know what? I had to stand with my legs apart, like in the Titanic. They feel that gush of air come through. Because if I'm standing any kind of way regular, it's a wrap.
Nothing's getting through.
Baby, it is a wrap. But if I'm standing like this, like Marilyn Monroe, I'm like, then you could feel it. But see, I can have that conversation and be okay in that space. A lot of women they haven't gotten there. And I'm not saying,
how did you get there? Like you was just born like that. But you got teased when you was younger for being tall.
I got teased for being a tall, big girl with braces. My whole little crew that I hung out with in school, we was all kind of different. So we live in a very physical world.
Yes.
And it's okay to talk about people. Like with the body image. So you talked about Oprah losing weight every day. A lot of women, I think, and I say this from personal experience, from people close to me, they will never know what it's like to feel that amount of being uncomfortable, because that's not their story.
Especially in the spotlight.
Especially
not just
in the
a regular
spotlight.
9 to 5. You are on camera. You are talking to people. People are constantly critiquing that.
Yes,
not just
everything.
Oh, at the little water cooler at office,
No,
like, okay, she look like she gaining some weight.
Yes,
Everybody in the world is talking about you.
And now, if you got a couple dollars, you can get whatever you're not comfortable with fixed. But I think we become so entrenched in, because we could fix it, some of us have done a lot, and it almost looks, it kind of looks strange. Don't email me. Don't, like, everybody wants to, we all want the perfect everything. And I don't want to say we all do. I like my little fluffy face with if I lose 10 pounds, I get dimples. That's how I know if I'm losing weight.
But it's not just the can I fix it because I have the money or the resources.
I need to fix it because it's uncomfortable, because the indentation in your shoulder, and just doing this, like, okay, wait a minute.
Let me just get some relief.
Yes. And then if you're going somewhere, you got to put the I got a bra that it literally take me 30 minutes to put it on. And then my daughter helped me, it's 15, because I have to literally put my shoulder blades back like this. Like when I put it on, I got to do my back like I'm diving off a diving board. So I didn't
like
put
them kids who be running around with them backpacks.
Yes, you know, little kids had a backpack and they're superhero. I got to do that. And I be like, you got it. She like, what row? Put it in the last row. The last one. That's how I'm breathing because ain't no air. I ain't get no air in my brain. Put it in the last one. And it look good when it's up to here. And I do the event and I'll walk up to anybody. I'll be like, hey, would you be comfortable in unhooking this bra? They like, Auntie. I'll be like, listen, if you don't unhook it, I keep a knife on me. I'll
cut it myself out.
What? I have cut that like that. And they be like, you look funny. Be like, don't judge me. I have tucked my boobs in some sweatpants because I want to go pick up some food. And I took them things and tucked them in them sweatpants and walked right in the pizza place. And the guy was just looking at me like this. I put a vest on. I put a whole, okay. I didn't have on the bra, and I ordered the food, and I called. I said, is my food coming? They said, no, ma'am, it's a pickup. I said, what? So I had to tuck them, and then I stood like this, and I zipped up my skin.
Yeah, that's how, if I don't got no bra on,
yeah,
I'm
why do we stand like
arms close
like
together?
we got a gun. Like we got a pistol. We stand.
Gotta keep them loaded.
And we standing like this. Somebody be trying to talk to you. But CoCo, how you doing? You okay? I'll be like, you do know I ain't got no bra on. You see how I'm hugging myself like I got a baby under my coat. You do see that. So it's just a freedom. Yeah. It's just being in a group of people that authentically accept you for who you are.
Yeah.
And that's hard to find. When you find it, you better hold on to them.
Yes.
You better hold on to them.
Yes.
Because, baby, listen, it's hard to find it. Because it's okay. It's okay to judge people now. Mm-hmm. And say, yeah, look at their teeth. Well, they just spent $80,000 on their teeth. Yeah,
that's how much teeth cost? At
least. Them veneers and them implants. Some of them cost a little more depending on what they got.
That's why everybody be going out of the country.
They go to the DR and stuff, places like that. One of my friends.
I did not know they cost that much.
Oh, yeah.
I was thinking maybe 10, 15.
Oh, no. 10 is probably 2 teeth.
That's why Cardi said, got a bag and fix my teeth.
Had to have a bag.
A big bag.
She was twirling and whirling on that pole like she was making spaghetti.
Listen. But there is nothing wrong with getting the work done. I think it's just the internal piece. Sometimes it doesn't match.
Yeah.
Like my mother and my grandmother both had the gastric sleeve.
Okay.
And I had an auntie who had that surgery as well because they were obese and felt like they needed
had
to
the
lose
surgery
weight.
years ago. I had it years ago too, and that's a lot. So now you got to deal with the after shock and all those feelings about now I done got the weight done and I done got this done and I got all this stuff done. And then my issue was when I see old pictures of myself and people like, you weren't that big. I was 500 pounds. They was like, no, you wasn't. Yes, I was.
lived in that body every day, I know.
But I was in the body, and when people, like, I'll post a picture, and they was like, oh, wait. One guy posted to my CoCo tape. I said, no, this is a real picture. This is who I was, but because I navigated and moved around, I didn't think about it until I went in and had a surgeon, and I started losing weight. And then, like you said, you got the skin, and then, okay, I had a couple knee issues. Well, you only got 2 knees, but I had some knee issues. So make sure whatever you do it for you. It's not for somebody else, but you do the things that you want to do for you. Do it for you. Do it because it'll make you feel better. It'll make you happier. It'll give you that satisfaction that you need. Because as soon as I get $2,500 more, I'm going to get them chiclet teeth. They're going to be like little lamps in my mouth.
Oh, no.
And you asked me a question, and I'm going to double back to it. Dating.
Period.
For me, let me tell you something. We say men can be drama queens. Men can be groupies. Men can be all of those things you don't think they are. And as women, because you've seen it, we take our career and we relinquish it over to that man in our life to collect the money and to do all that stuff. And sometimes it don't work. But men can be the biggest groupies. I want, or they jealous, or somebody wrote you a picture.
Because you had the incident with the ball player.
Man, listen. Ooh, he showed all the way out. And I'm like, he's like, I don't appreciate we doing a party. You there, you play for the league, and you over there with your handler, and I'm over here with the radio station doing the thing, and we chilling, and you send the guy over. He said he want to talk to you. Him who? Him? You know who it is. So I'm standing there talking to him, and I'm facing him. He's like, I'm just trying to figure out who keeps sending you all the bottles of champagne. I'm like, what? I said, I know. I appreciate. Don't send no more bottles. You sent 3, then somebody else bought some. Don't send no more.
Bottle wars. I like it.
And all the men in your face. Same reason all these women in your face. I said, we're not going to do this in public. But for him, he couldn't process that a girl that looked like me could garner all that male attention. And for him, we think he's secure because he played for the league and he got the car.
No, these niggas are insecure.
So it was overwhelming. And then we had a conversation about, I said, what about that night bothered you? He said, well, he had seen me and I usually had on like Timberlands and a hoodie or whatever. He said, first of all, you were always beautiful, but you were really beautiful. You had your makeup and all that stuff. He said, then I was just looking at all the men that was in your face. I said, well, they attracted to the same thing you like. He said, but it was just interesting. I said, yeah, because I don't meet what you think is the beauty standard. But athletes tend to date the people in their circle. And if all the women in their circle are of a particular size or color, that's who they date. It ain't a lot of us in their circle. It ain't a lot of girls with hoodies and no heels and some
and just
buckle-ups.
regular, you know, who ain't going for it. I don't care about your money, Pooh. What you doing?
Yeah.
What you
So
really doing?
Yeah.
Dang, so is CoCo single now?
Very single.
Okay.
Oh, that's funny. I just want a nice regular date. Like, guy meet you somewhere, because you ain't coming to my house and I ain't going to your house. Guy meet you somewhere, you go out, have a nice conversation, eat some food, you walk me to the car, I give you a little pet, and I'm home, and then we talk about, you so cute, no, you cute. I had a good time. When we gonna do it again? Da-da-da. I want that.
Yeah.
I want that. I want that kind of conversation. And then, oh, it was so cute. Oh, man, I'm going to eat the rest of my salmon tomorrow. But I want somebody that's confident enough to stand in that space and be okay.
Yeah, and be a partner, and not just like you feel like you got to be in the shadow. Like,
I always feel like I got to do this to entertain you.
Tap dance, yeah.
Okay,
no, I want to be able to take all this off. Even though I don't have nothing on, I want to be able to take off that layer,
and
that
you can
public.
protect me.
Yes.
I want someone that's able to say, no, she ain't got no tickets. No, she can't do that.
No, we not doing that.
No, we not. She not coming to your kids' cookout. She not finna do that. Because I need all kind of stuff. I need somebody to be like, no, she can't do that. No, man, I ain't acting funny.
Yeah.
My girl can't. She ain't finna do that.
Exactly.
So you want to just come to the hood and just chop up, just sit up. Yeah, no, we can't do that. Somebody that's okay.
Yeah.
Somebody that's not looking for anything. Somebody that feels like they don't have a point to prove, because I've dated them. They want to be here. I'm like, sit your goofy ass down somewhere.
Hello?
Quit being goofy. Nah, I always wanted to meet him. Well, go over there. You got a VIP pass.
Why are you acting
Just go over
weird?
there. I mean, just go over there. Just all of that.
Yeah.
Just a regular degular. Herbert, William.
Herbert James.
Not too old, though.
Okay.
Not that mean old.
Because you like young boys.
I
Well, not
like
boys.
them.
Excuse me. Let me be very clear. Young men.
I like younger men because I like their energy. I like that, like 40. Although I met a 44-year-old the other night, he was really handsome. But I started doing the math. I said, that's a 17-year age difference. He ain't going to understand how I got to roll my booty over with my leg hurting. He might not understand that unless it's something his grandma did. I do like younger men until they say this. You remind me of my mama. Damn, Kawan, we can't even do that.
Not you gave him Kaiwan.
Like you, Kawan.
Wait.
We can't. Because now I'm going to feel nasty if I ever get naked in front of you.
Yeah, because it's like, yo, mama. You got a mama kink? What's
like
that?
Okay, I can't even do it. Because then if I say nephew, then you're like, ugh. So, yeah, it's the thin line. But I'm willing to date older now.
Okay.
I would date somebody 55 and up, but they gotta have a personality.
Yeah,
You gotta
they
make
just
me
can't be a
laugh.
pawpaw.
No, you gotta make me laugh. You gotta be comfortable. Like I could really. This is important to me. If we get to that point and we've been together for a consistent amount of time, if I share myself with you and I share some of the things that may be traumatic, or if we get intimate, some of the things that you can't say to me because it trigger other things, don't take that part of my vulnerability and you get mad with me and try to use it against me.
I don't like that.
Yeah, so now you like, because now as soon as you say, well, yeah, I see why that man hit you in your head with a toaster. See? Nope.
What you doing? Why would you say that?
But I had
You know what I'm
told-
saying?
yeah,
Like,
so-
no. Why would you bring that up? Like, that's crazy. Were you thinking about hitting me in the head with a toaster? Because
Yeah.
I got a cast iron.
Yeah. Ooh, good old cast iron.
And it's
Now
heavy.
you gotta not leave no prints though. I can't say that. You just palm of your hands, soles of your feet. Huh? Okay.
So, as we start closing up the episode,
It's time to go.
yeah, we gotta wrap it up.
No, I gotta watch. Can I say this? Listen.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of podcasts, really, 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 and I just like the way you handle stuff. You did your research, you handled everything. The atmosphere is great. Fluffy even stopped snoring and all that stuff. That was important. And then I had texted her a text because I got my shooter that's with me. We call him the Ebony Prince of the Ghetto, like JJ from Good Times. Some days he the intern, some days he the promoter, some days he the driver. But I text her and let her know. I said, because I'm old school, I don't want to just bring nobody to your house. And she texted me back, I'm old school too. And
Don't bring nobody to my house without asking first,
Yes.
because I'm going to be very mad.
Yes,
Who is this person?
Yes, and why are they with you and what's going on?
Yeah.
So listen, keep up with her. Like, for real.
Period.
Keep up with her. I like the way she
Thank you.
I like the way she moved. So wait, I'm gonna give y'all my stuff. Wait, you had one more question?
No, I do have, and we closing up. We not ending right this second. So, I know something we touched on briefly when I talked to you before this interview, but do you think about your legacy often, and like knowing that you are impacting people? Like, even just when we started this episode, me pulling the tequila in the shot glasses out of my little boobies.
That took me all the way down.
Do you think about the impact that you're leaving?
I do when it's mentioned to me.
Yeah, because you blazing trails.
When young people come up to me, they're like, man, listen, I would be so glad when you was on the radio on my way to school, because my mama wouldn't cuss us out and be fussing at us. And to hear somebody say that, I'm like, wow. Or I had a young lady come up to me at CVS. She's like, you remember me? I said, I do. She's like, from where? I said, you graduated from the middle school not too far from here. And I spoke at your graduation, and you were the person that was assigned to me to make sure I knew where to sit and all that, whatever. She said, yeah, I said, what you doing now? And I didn't realize that much time. Graduated from high school, graduated from college, and she's an attorney.
Period.
And I'm like, wait a minute. She was like, yep. And she said, I met you at the graduation, and we had a conversation. And she said, I just want to say thank you. I said, what? She said, you made me feel so good about being a big girl. I said, what? She said, you had, and she was a beautiful, thick girl.
Yeah.
But
being thick comes with a lot of weight. It's heavy.
Yes.
There's a book by, his name is Keith Lemon. I don't know if you say it with a little accent,
Yeah.
but it's called Heavy.
Yes.
The book is called Heavy, and he talks about the weight of being big, not the actual physical,
but the spiritual weight,
stigma,
the psychological weight, the emotional weight, and how
yes.
sometimes if you're feeling 100, you'll give 100, but sometimes you go in spaces and you want to shrink.
Yes.
Not because of what you see, but just you feel so seen and you're not ready to be seen. If that makes sense.
You feel exposed.
You got to get the book. You got to read the book. And y'all get the book and pass
read
it
Heavy?
on. Yes.
Oh, period.
Yes. Pass it on. And even if you're not a person of size, read the book so you will understand what it's like to dwell in this body.
Yes.
And how when we ask for certain things, like if you fly and you say, I need a seatbelt extension. For me, it meant the world to me how the flight attendant handed it to me. Mm-hmm. Like if she walk up to me like we doing a drug deal and she put in my hand and fold my hand down, that meant she saw me and she respected that. But if they walk up to it and just kind of hand it to me funky, I'm like, okay, hooker. Because how you deal with a person,
Yeah.
even in the healthcare industry,
Yeah.
you could say you got anything, and a lot of physicians gonna say, if you lose some weight, be like, my ear hurt. Well, if you wasn't so fat and your head wasn't so wide.
Yeah.
It's so many things. So I'm black, I'm fat, and I'm older. So I thank God for the physician that I have and the people that work with him, because they listen to me and I'm able to articulate and I'm able to tell them what's going on. But for the people that's not like me, that can't say, hey, this gown too little, or this bed not comfortable, or do you have a seat that don't have arms on it? If I say I need a seat with don't have arms on it, don't look at the seat and then look at me. I know where I'm comfortable. And now I'm dealing with these civil rights needs of mine. That's the first thing I asked you. I said, where we going to be sitting? She said, I got bar stools. Thank you, Jesus, because they the right height and my knees up and everything. So everything is important to somebody. And just be kind. Yeah. You ain't got to be in our space, but just understand what it's like. You got to be nice to people. Yeah. And take your own values and prejudices and ideas out their head. Even little kids. We call little kids fat and foot and up. Because that's going to go with them.
It sticks with them.
Yes.
How you look at their body, how you look at the clothes that they have, even when you're talking to them about what fits and what doesn't. How you're talking about that is very, very, very important. Because I have some memories from when I was a little kid. People just said, not even thinking about it, probably never even thought about it ever again in their life. I hear it every time I wear that color.
I know. Don't you think you're too fat to have that on? I'm like, what? So when you tell little girls that, or little boys, don't you think you're too fat? To you, it might not mean anything, but to them, it's the difference between them closing off and hiding everything from you, or never having a conversation with you again. Even with little boys, we think little boys are supposed to be tougher. But you keep calling him fat. Dad, you getting big. You eating us out of house and home. This nigga eat a whole loaf of bread every day. There are ways to have conversations and deal with people, and that's not it.
Exactly.
That's not it. You don't get no points for that, because I just started calling men out.
Good.
Fellas, I'm calling you out, especially the ones that's built like their grandma. You know who you are. You know exactly who you are. That booty up real high like this. That booty up here. I see you, and you want to sit and judge somebody? Sir, do you know that vent in the back of that jacket is wide open?
Oh.
Like this?
Boys do be having big booties.
And, sir, we see you. And why you talking about, she a little too big or she too skinny for me? Sir.
It's clapping when you go up the stairs.
Have you looked at yourself naked, sir? Do you understand? You don't need them little short. You can't wear them short slacks that hit your ankle, because your ankle's thick. You need your pants to come on in the room and just come on down like that. See? It sound bad when I say it. That sport jacket open just like this in the back. Okay.
Okay, CoCo, as we close out,
ma'am.
Do you have any takeaways for people who are going to watch this episode? Like, if you could tell them a quick little spark notes or synopsis of what we talked about today, like things that you walking away from or that would be important for them.
I really want to say, do it afraid. Like Joyce Myers has a book, and it's called Do It Afraid, because that little feeling of doubt and insecurity will pop up. And the more you dwell on it, the more you'll find yourself in that space. But do it afraid. And if you are afraid, have a conversation with your friend like, hey, I'm feeling some kind of way. And you need them to say, I got you. You okay? I know how you're feeling. You need some pushers and some prayers and some folks that be like, but do it afraid. And some things you can't tell nobody. I know you just feel like you keeping a secret. They not gonna understand your dream. They're not gonna get it. So some stuff you just gotta keep to yourself. Write it down and just keep it to yourself and watch it come to fruition and watch it happen. Just watch it happen. And don't expect your returns to come back from the people that you gave it to, because the world don't operate like that. It's too many people in the world for you to think that Charlotta that you met 72 years ago is going to remember something. Just be open and receptive and do it. Live the dream. Quit being so judgmental. You can't make nobody do nothing. And love people. Love is beautiful. And like them. Yeah, like them.
Love them and like them.
And to the men with that suit jacket, I'm gonna see y'all at church tomorrow.
What do you need to hear for your feelings over the next few weeks? Like, what's something you could tell yourself? You need.
I'm really, really tightening up on my business and how I deal with people. Thank God for the people that are around me and the people with me that'll be like, no, I got that. I'll handle that. Because I need those kind of people. I need the people to say, no, we standing on business and really stand on business and stand on that. And for you folks that call yourself promoters and producers, some of y'all need to go back to doing whatever you was doing. You don't want to pay people right. You want to play games. You don't want to handle the business. Ain't nobody going to hold a date for you and let you disrespect us. And you want to start the show. The doors open at 7. Show's supposed to start at 8. It's 9:30. And you talking about you see the crowd. Sir, ain't nobody else coming. These 15 people here, and that's all you going to get tonight. But I need the bag before I touch that microphone.
Hello?
Oh, CoCo, you see how many people here. But see, that's why I got to have shooters. So I could go to the side and act like I'm playing the game on my phone and let my people get my money.
Okay.
You got to have a bag grabber.
Okay, so you need to hear right now, I'm standing on business.
Stand on business.
I'm standing on business.
And sincerity and be honest and be open. All of that stuff.
Period.
And live your life. Have fun. Do stuff. Go skinny dip.
Do stuff. Eat chicken wings naked in your bed.
With a honey bun.
Okay.
Or some homemade banana nut muffins. That's out. I'm out.
Period. Thank you.
And what's the name of the show?
Heavy on the Feelings.
Heavy. Did you hear that part? Heavy on the feelings. That means put pressure on it. Put that weight on it. You can do it. Put your back into it.
Okay. Thank you so much, CoCo, for spending time with me and sharing who you are with my audience.
She's going to introduce you to the team. Amazing team. Is little young Kevin Hart still in there?
Yes.
Not the real Kevin Hart. Don't be thinking, no. But this young man look just like Kevin Hart. She gonna show him to you one day, but not today.
They all in the credits, y'all. Y'all know who she talking about. She talking about Barry. I really just appreciated our conversation today. I love getting to know new parts of you, things that I didn't read in the interviews that you had out or didn't watch in the podcast you had out. And I'm so grateful that just in the one interaction that we had, you took out over a year later, took out time, energy, and space to like come and be here with me.
Because you reached out to me consistently. You reached out to me. You gave me a bunch of dates, and then again. And when you called me yesterday, I said, I know I'm supposed to be somewhere today. And I was like, okay. And old people, stop doing this. Stop writing your information on all the envelopes and pieces of paper. Put it in one place so you'll have it when you go back. But I had to do it. I had to do it because when I met you, it was something about you that stood out with your spirit and your interaction and all that stuff. And when you meet people like that, move in that moment.
Period.
Yes.
Can you let the folks know where they can find you?
You can find me wherever they got really, really good chicken wings. And I do a boil.
What's your best chicken wing spot in the city?
It's a young man named Richard, and he called Hollywood 313. Mm-hmm. He has some of the best chicken wings ever. And then, oh my goodness. One Mike Detroit got good chicken wings. Royal Barbecue.
I heard One Mike Detroit had good chicken
and
wings.
They got good turkey chops. Royal Barbecue over on the east side got good chicken wings. When I feel like it, I cook some amazing chicken wings, but I cook them in the air fryer. Baby, listen, season them boys up and put a little bit of baking soda on.
Take it there.
Not baking soda, that's cooking drugs. Baking powder. Put some baking We finna go, listen.
Where the people can find you at?
CoCo the Comic on Instagram. CoCo the Comic on Instagram. Ginger Hudson on Facebook. Ginger Hudson on Facebook. And then CoCo and Ingrid Walton on LinkedIn. You can find me.
Do you have a tour coming up?
I got some stuff I'm putting together.
Because I seen something pop up about something in the air for 2024.
I will be on the stage at the Fox Theater April the 19th with some more Don D.C. Curry, Tony Roberts, Teddy Carpenter, and Lavelle Crawford. So I'm calling it the ODRA, On the Road Again, because I come from living on the road. Yeah. I come from doing tours. So I'm getting back. So after the pandemic hit, sometimes you have to just start over where you can. So we doing that. We doing it heavy in these streets, right?
Okay, real heavy.
Heavy, push it.
All right,
you
y'all.
see the face?
That ends our time together, but don't worry, we'll be back again in 2 weeks with another episode of Heavy on the Feelings. In the meantime, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. You watched this long. Please let us know how you like the episode. And, until next time, take good care.
Oh, I got about 100 people I want to send you the interview.
I
Like,
woke
yeah.
up, lit my sage, read a page in the book. Sis, pull up on me, come have breakfast in the nook. All the worries went away, cause that was yesterday. Actually, I think that we deserve some rest, okay? Now let me ask you, friend, have you ate today? Maybe we could chef it up and make us a plate and make it feel like May, even if skies are gray. We letting off the good vibes and watch them ricochet, and let the negativity just dissipate. You can chill and drink your chai and participate. You're watching Heavy on the Fields with Aaron A. We march to our own drum, it's how we operate. We on that healing girl tip, yeah. Flying we a trip, yeah. At first I was slipping and I finally got a grip. We manifesting and we earning. Might just get a twerking, cooking up, we stirring, we still healing, we still working. That's real.
Sundown wind chimes, break it down.